Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too. You're watching content like this. The name of this channel is Manifested Magic, the Practical Way, because there are a lot of practicalities of manifesting magic, the life that you choose. One big practicality that I want to share a quick little video on, hopefully I can get under 5 minutes, is imagination, right? So I've been listening to a new book, which I like to do when I'm driving. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. And it's free. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it there. You can go on Audible if you want to support. I'm sure that's all good. But nonetheless, this book was like the precursor to all of the professional personal development books that we read today. And most interesting thing about it is that I can clearly see why, because understanding how your imagination works means like you understand how Windows works on a computer, right? You understand how Word works. Besides just being able to type a letter, you understand how to use all the features of the Word program on the computer. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is your operating system. This is the way that you operate as a human being. We literally live in our imaginations and our own perceptions. And one of the biggest things about our imagination and perceptions that hold us back is that we have a negative leaning one. And then we allow other people to pile on top of that and contribute to our negative leaning self-perception or imagination, right? Like, you can have an experience that's negative, say me for instance, of swimming as a kid, right? Having like 2 drowning incidents. Well, at the time I couldn't swim. My logical mind knows, well, you had those incidents not because you were in danger. It was more because you couldn't swim, right? Not because water in the pool was dangerous. You had the events because you didn't learn how to swim. Nobody taught you how to swim. You didn't learn on your own. You weren't one of those kind of kids. So when I went to take swimming lessons, like as a 30-year-old, I really had to be with an instructor that got inside my head and changed my imagination and my perception from being underwater to being dangerous and life-threatening to, as long as I know what I'm doing, I'm okay. You know what I mean? So we can have one incident in our lives that show us some negative results, and we'll build every other interaction off of that negative result. And it's literally in your imagination, and you get evidence for it, and your brain's going to help you because it loves law of attraction. It loves pulling things in that match what you're already trying to think anyway. That's why social media is so powerful when it comes to politics and religion and sexuality and race and ethnicity. Sometimes people are having conversations about things like race and ethnicity that I don't even think about anymore. And the reason why is because it's not showing up in my feed, and it's not something that's prevalent in my mindset. So therefore, my law of attraction in my brain does not send me down those rabbit holes, right? And social media doesn't help to send me down those rabbit holes. So we have to remember that most of what we're experiencing is all of our own creation. And I will say all of what we're experiencing when it comes to how we perceive it is our own creation, right? Well, one person can see that they're living in hell, and they may be living in like a 6-bedroom home, 5,000 square feet or whatever people's dreams are when it comes to big houses. And they may be having this thing, and then you go in the house and it's pure doom and gloom. Their perception of what they have and where they're at is very, very different than what the outside world sees. So when we remember that our imagination, like, what do you want to create about yourself? And then sometimes we live in a world where people get mad if you're a woman who doesn't fit traditional beauty standards, right? And you still like yourself and you still think you're beautiful. People get mad because they're like, how dare you use your own imagination and perception to give yourself a better outcome? How dare you? And really, the world is so open to suggestion all the time that if you believe whatever it is about yourself, other people will fall in line so quickly, so incredibly easy. So just remember the power of imagination and the power of being able to create whatever it is you choose, and not getting all ridiculous and lofty and just trying to abuse the mindset. Meet yourself where you are. Meet yourself where you can start believing and perceiving, right? I always believe in the mindset and the concept of dressing for where you're headed rather than dressing for where you are, right? I was in Target the other day and this lady was just like, you look amazing, right? I just had on a simple dress. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, I got it from here, Target. She said, no, I don't mean that. Like, your dress is nice. She says, but the fact that you had a choice this morning whether to put on like pajamas or yoga clothes, but you chose to look nice. And she's like, I need to do that more often. And I was like, wow, what a compliment. She was complimenting my whole being, not just the dress, my whole way of operating. And I thought that was pretty cool, because what I realized in life is that you can give any presentation you want to the world, but you will have to fight that presentation if it's negative leaning. So why not present yourself in a way that's positive leaning, and that also puts you into the perception of yourself that you have higher value for yourself and you value yourself more, right? I'm really big on that. I don't like frumpiness. It's not one of my things. I don't judge other people who's frumpy, but I'm sure my brain does. It does that thing. But just remembering your imagination and perception is a killer. It is a game changer, right? It is the difference between you having a sad, sullen life, settling for bad relationships and poor outcomes, to having an amazing life where you're creating your outcomes, where you're choosing the roads and the destinies that you want to go out down at any particular time, and you're choosing the people and how healthy they need to be in order to be in your space. Because if you have a poor self-perception, you'll let anybody hang around. You'll be like, yay, friends. And it's like, dude, those are not your friends. Those are just people that's wallowing in the misery with you. And the minute you drag yourself up out of it, they're not going to like you. They're going to have a problem with you, you know? So when you have a high perception and you use your imagination in the most positive and impactful way, you can create whatever environment you want. And if you want to test this out, just talk yourself into a new persona, talk yourself into a higher energy, and then go try it out. I meet so many people that say that they're introverts when they really have social anxiety. Two different things. They can exist in the same place. But to me, if you have social anxiety, you don't really know if you're an introvert or not, because you're too busy being afraid of people. Real true introverts are not afraid of people. They're not shy. They're not scared. They will do public speaking. They will teach. They will do all of that. But at the end of the day, they really need to be with themselves in order to recharge and reset. They really need some time to themselves in between the socializing, even if they're at conferences and they're speaking at events and things like that. When I meet people with social anxiety and they go, I'm an introvert, I'm like, no, that you're hiding behind introversion, because introverts, they're not afraid of people. They just choose not. They choose themselves. Social anxiety is choosing your social anxiety, not choosing yourself, right? That's just a little pet peeve of mine. I always like to clear it up, because I'm like, I'm an introvert, but I'm not afraid of people. I'm good when it comes to people. It's just people. They're just like me. They're just like you. They're just like all of us. It's just people, people, people. Everywhere you go in this world, all you're going to see is people. People, people, people. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And just remember, positive self-perceptions, positive imaginations, create the persona that you want to step into. Because I see it all the time. People go get plastic surgeries. They go get this change, that change. And they're just as insecure as they ever were before they even had the surgery. So I'm like, who was it for? You know? And everybody knows there's a big overflow of a certain type of surgery right now. And it's just like, dude, why? And it's the most insecure outcomes. And I'm like, man, if they only spent the time building up their positive self-perceptions, they wouldn't need to touch anything on their bodies. They would just love it as it is and then create what they want to create. Anyway, I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Positive self-perceptions. This goes beyond believing in yourself. Create an imagination. If you listen to Neville Goddard, he's a good person for that. Get inside your head and make it so. And then start walking and stepping in it, embodying it every day. And you'll have it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.